what's up, man? It's your boy Young Dill.
And Nate the Great.
And we are back, man, with episode 2 of Solid and Original.
DavidSonyaBeats.com. Purchase beats with no tags.
Real quick though, we're gonna do some housekeeping, man. April 13th, y'all make sure y'all come out to the 3rd year anniversary party. It's gonna be lit. We definitely gonna have our merch on deck. We're gonna be debuting some new merch, so make sure y'all, you know what I'm saying, come out.
For sure.
It's gonna be a lit event from 10 to 2, Saturday, April 13th, at one of our favorite venues, Smith Public Trust, man. Make sure y'all come in. Of course, it's free of charge. It's gonna be lit. I'm trying to see, man, what else is on the list? We got anything else? That's all we got coming up right now.
That's all we got coming up right now. Just be aware for Oh, and we dropping around the same time. We're dropping some Chicago footage.
Oh, facts. Yeah. All our vlogs and videos from Chicago, those will be dropping. Also, man, if you want to vend at the party, if the slots already aren't full, I gotta check with Mike. Hit us up, man. Hit us up on email, contact@therealvsop.com. Also, we will pop-up shops. We will have one over the summertime, so...
and just in general. Yeah. Just in general, hit us up. We'll put you on a list. Because we want to have a running list of vendors that we can call and contact when we're having our pop-up shops.
100% fact. So, yeah, definitely hit us up. We love to work with new people. Once again, man, shout out to Ari Unleashed in Chicago, and shout out to Brittany, man.
Yes, for sure.
Both those young ladies' interviews was dope, and we had a good time up there chopping it up with them.
For sure.
But episode 2, man, Solid and Original. We can call this episode. We call this, man, hood politics, man. And
yes,
necessarily you don't have to be from the hood or from the urban environment to relate to these things, because they happen really kind of in any neighborhood, suburbs to the hood, impoverished neighborhoods. But essentially one of the main things, or first things, is snitching. Like, I'll let you go first, Nate. What do you define snitching as?
Snitching to me would be, even though some people agree, some people don't, but to me, if you are involved with a crime with you to either at the least one other person, then you tail on that person to get yourself out of trouble. To me, that's snitching.
Facts.
100%. Like, there's no going around it. And then the reason, and it's not even, to me, it has nothing to do with the street politics or street rules. Fuck are you doing, nigga? Like, we doing this shit together. Like, how dare you we knew we was getting into when we did this. Like, how dare you take me away or allow me to get taken away from my family for your selfish actions. Like, I feel like you can't. I hate to say that shitty ass, weird ass saying. Like, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime, bro. Like,
especially if you're a civilian.
For sure.
And we are both civilians.
I'm a civilian, for sure.
So with that being said, if a nigga whoops my ass, if a nigga shoots or stabs me, and I don't have the capability to shoot or stab him back, I can go contact the police. And I'm cool. I'm not going to go contact the police, because the police are not going to do anything. It's going to be pointless. Yes. I don't need them coming in my house. So I'm cool. Like, I'll either take the L or try to find them brothers myself. But man, if we have jobs, we operate in the above ground of society. We pay our taxes, so we are civilians. And with that being said, man, I agree with your definition all in all. And really, if you want to take it a note deeper, before y'all even go on the mission, you kind of supposed to have, especially if it's just 2 people, it's really supposed to be worked out if one person gets caught, because it's no co-defendants. It's technically, you're not supposed to be co-defendants, right?
That's a fact.
Because it's always a liability of somebody talking.
Yeah.
So you're already supposed to be worked out. Somebody sits down, all right, bail money.
That's a fact.
We're going to have you out the next month.
That is a fact. But these things, for me, what makes it baffling for me is just that a lot of times when you come up this is where I think it came from. When you coming up, how we came up and where we came up, those wasn't even like rules to us. That was like life, because it's in the fact that the person next to me that I'm doing whatever with, this is like my brother. This is considering like my partner. So like no matter what, I'm not going by no rules, nigga. If you get locked up and I was with you, I'm damn sure gonna bail you out.
Coming back to get you.
You see what I'm saying? Like I'm not finna. What type of fool ass nigga would I be if I ain't get my man out when I help get him in?
And then on top of that, real life, like I went to school, man. I ain't jump off the porch.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll never say I jumped off the porch or I was outside. But at the same time, like, I got homies or I got people that I was looking at. Like I was looking at people
Facts.
jumping off the porch, making them same mistakes.
Facts.
And you know, talking to people, talking to old heads, or even through self-experiences, man. For real, really, if you're gonna do a crime, try to do that shit by yourself.
For sure. Honestly.
Like that's
the
best I can say. But to segue, let's talk about your boy Tekashi 6 Dime.
Yeah, for
let's
sure.
talk about him. Like
Tekashi dropped down.
Yeah, man, dropping hella assists.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
So if I'm correct, man, I want to say he was charged at first before he decided to cooperate. He was charged with 23 felony counts.
Yes.
So but he pled guilty to 9.
Yes.
So with that being said, I never been in the system, so I can't really. My knowledge doesn't run that deep, but at the same time, you can plead out without snitching.
Yes.
But the fact that he pled out so fast and what he pled to, you kind of knew he was cooperating. So, how you feel about that, man?
I have so many emotions, man. So many emotions behind it because I don't know. What's my man name? Lord Jumar. The guy he's always on Vlad.
Oh, Lord
always
Jamar?
on Vlad.
Yeah.
Lord Jamar. He's always on Vlad. He said something like in one of his latest interviews that kind of like had my antennas up a little bit. It just made me think, and you know I'm a big conspiracy theorist. So he said he feels as though that Tekashi, this bitch Siri, wow, my bad, I apologize. That Tekashi was planted by the government.
Was planted by the government?
Yeah, that's what he felt. And I was like, it's kind of, I wouldn't say probably like fully planted, but I would say, who's to say that they didn't get in contact with this motherfucker way earlier than we thought?
I believe that, right? Because you can't be where he from. I don't know exactly where he from in Brooklyn, but for him to infiltrate the game as a known sex offender, I could believe that. I could believe he has dirt that's way darker than that. Like, you know what I'm saying? What they said the sex offense story was, and that the feds might have did this. I wouldn't be surprised. NYPD don't be playing. Like, I would not be surprised.
The feds or NYPD?
Both.
Okay.
I don't think New York. So, like watching a couple China Mac interviews, he was kind of telling me. What did he say? He was just like, damn, I don't remember.
If I'm not mistaken, it was along the lines of, there is no jail for New York.
Yeah.
You're going straight to prison.
It's kind of like, the NYPD, you're going straight to prison. The NYPD in New York is kind of like the feds. They go hand to hand at the same time, I guess, if I'm saying that correctly. But long story short, like, NYPD or just police motherfuckers, y'all niggas watch Power? Like, niggas don't fuck around. Like, them niggas don't play, man. And
well, first let's put everything into context, right? So what we're basically speaking about is about how this young man,
Daniel Hernandez,
he pled guilty to 9 charges. A couple of those charges are gun charges, racketeering, and if I'm not mistaken, assault.
Yeah, assault or assisting in assault.
Or assisting in assault, something around there. So the minimum for those 9 charges was 48 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Fact.
That's the minimum for those charges. So apparently, this young fellow has signed a deal. And in that deal, it states that as long as he fully cooperates,
he don't get no jail.
and he doesn't commit any crimes after he cooperates, he gets no jail time.
Fact.
He walks away scot-free.
100% fact.
Even though This motherfucker is caught on camera putting a hit out on the motherfucker. And come to find out, the nigga that he got to do the hit was his homeboy.
Yeah,
was not like just like the affiliate with the rest of the niggas. That was actually his homeboy.
He probably introduced him to all this shit real live.
And the crazy part about it, like, that was you. That was your doing.
I think his homeboy got hit already with 20 something. Like he got
bananas,
charged,
bro.
yeah.
That's bananas to me, bro. And then you got somebody that's doing something about the murder. You snitch on them, you get no time, and they get like damn near the max time.
So now the question that's been lingering is, and Bobby Smurder's coming home in 20 months. By the way, shout out to Smurder.
Did you hear what Bobby Smurder said about him?
Yeah, hell no, I ain't making no song with that nigga.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all.
Respect. But I just like, so look, right, like I said once before, we're civilians. And I'm not mad at the fact he snitched. I'm mad what he did, and then he snitched to get himself out of it.
Exactly, I agree with that 100%.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause like I said, yo, if you were being assaulted by these gentlemen and you had nobody else to call, call police, cool. But you sent that nigga to do something for you, then you told on him. That's not cool, bro. I don't even care if we was just on the playground with these kids and you was being a tattletale. That's not cool. Like, you set your hands up. You put yourself into that world. I don't think they was like, hey, Tekashi, you want to get down? Like, nah, bro.
Nah. And let's even say this, like you said before. Like, let's say you was a civilian and you wasn't with none of this shit. And let's just say you really hired these guys, you know, to be hired hands, right? Let's say you did do that. Okay. I can understand you going to the police and saying, "Oh, I had nothing to do with this. These guys did this. These guys did that."
Wow.
It wasn't me, sir. I just hired them to protect me. That's all I did. Like, I didn't have nothing to do with none of the drugs, none of the shootings, none of the killings. I didn't have nothing to do with none of that. That's not my business. But you really was like from the outside looking in.
You was causing this.
You was the one doing all of this. You look like the ringleader, even though you weren't.
But we didn't hear Shotty.
Not at all.
Or the 9 Trey Bloods out of New York. We didn't hear about them before you got popping.
No, we did not.
It's like, yeah, young. And then on top of that, let's say if he was in that situation that you like presented, right? He wouldn't be able to snitch because he really wouldn't know what was going on. He'd just be like, dog, I hired these niggas as security. I don't know anything.
But once again, we talked about this before, right? We talked about this before, about this exact situation when it first happened. Like, I really don't necessarily blame him for snitching. I blame all them stupid ass niggas. Why would you let this regular ass motherfucker into your circle the way you did? Like, even the baby mother, she said it. She said it's crazy because to the outsiders of the situation, this is like, you know, surprising. She was like, to everybody that knows him, this is not surprising at all.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, why would you even let this fool get that close to you and your business and what you doing to even put you in this predicament?
And be young niggas watching, bro. If you're not from that world, if you're not like from a street nigga who, you know what I'm saying, if you stay on the porch, but there's nothing wrong with that. If that's you, stay in that lane. Please don't try to hop in there with these gorillas and you don't know how they play, because this is a prime example. And like, niggas was really like predicting this shit, dog. And it just flat out happened, bro. So
yeah. I was one saying that, nah, he not gonna snitch. I really was. I remember.
And niggas changed my mind, because at first I was like, oh, that nigga's singing. And then after everybody was like, nah, he's saying it tall, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because to me, like, it was.
Hey, shout out to Renzo.
Yeah, shout out to Renzo. Shout out to Renzo.
Shout out my nigga Renzo.
What did he say? I forgot what he said.
He's gonna stay in tall.
Oh yeah, that's funny. But look, so to me, this right here, this particular situation really helped me understand like how far trolling can go, right? Because this went extremely far, right? because of the simple fact that the reason why I was saying like, nah, I don't think he's gonna snitch. I wasn't sitting here saying like, I know for sure he's not gonna snitch. I was just going off the like, nah, I really think that, you know, that he's really valuing, you know, the position that he's in, right? But then come to find out, just looking at it all in hindsight, I'm just like, wow, like he just really was playing a part up until the very end. That motherfucker played the part up until the day he was arrested. He got arrested 2 days before he got arrested. He was on the Breakfast Club, was he not?
Facts, 100% facts.
So like, and then he got out the chair, he was standing up, talking and shit. And I was like, oh, okay.
But they say he left the Breakfast Club to go do some, like, put in some work, and they called him. So right when he left the Breakfast Club, I think he was going to some casino. They was going to do some shit illegal. But the feds grabbed him and was like, you know what I'm saying, yo, you wilding, you might want to chill out.
Mm-hmm. Your life is in danger.
Yeah, essentially they said, yeah, your life is in danger. These niggas are going to do something to you.
Mm-hmm.
Let him back out. He went right back around them niggas in the sweep. That's when they swept. And yeah. So now to segue this, I want to switch it. Can Tekashi come back? Let's say he's free by the summertime. Can he come back and have a hit song
Fuck yeah.
this summer?
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. You wanna know why? Cause this shit, the streets, the sad part about it, on the streets and the music industry don't mean shit. So like that shit, we could try to sit here and act like these motherfuckers like they be talking all that shit and that shit really means something when it comes to their music. Good lord. Whew, distractions. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh my god. Yeah, we can sit here and act like, you know, that shit really matters, but it don't, bro. Especially not to these kids. These kids don't give a fuck. These kids don't even understand what snitching is, half these motherfuckers. Most of these little kids, they white that listen to him. A lot of these white kids listen to him.
And you gotta see, like, a lot of the famous rappers stood by him, like, even though he was a sex offender, you know, your Kanye's, your Nicki Minaj, and anybody else.
I mean, but you can't tell no Nicki Minaj. Her whole brother was a whole.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
A whole fool.
And you still stood by him. So you think he's gonna be able to come out? Do you think he's gonna come out and may get assaulted?
For sure. I think it's gonna be one of those cases where when he come out, he got to change his whole persona. He has to, because if he don't, pretty much every city he gonna go to, people gonna try to put their hands on him. Because you can't keep putting off this like, you know, this hard facade when we know that you're everything but that.
Facts.
Like,
and you like, shout out to China Mac. He predicted all of this shit.
He did.
Yeah,
he damn sure did.
You can't put out that energy in all these cities and then expect to perform.
Exactly.
And I don't care how much security you got.
Nah, for sure.
But at the same time, niggas might laugh him off.
They might.
Like, yo, you was a chump.
They might.
I'm cool. You gonna tell on me? Like.
Exactly.
So, now, something else that goes on in the African American community that is not discussed enough and it's unfortunate is sexual assault. And one thing we were talking about while we were in Chicago, we were talking about the R. Kelly situation. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted, we could touch on that for a little bit, like, and shout out to Ari, man. She confirmed it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
She confirmed it. That nigga was at high school. That's not cool, dog.
They say he been like that. So people in Chicago, which is weird. I don't know how. It's all this shit is just so new to me, man. Like I don't know how like that was ever like allowed or okay. But then again, when you really think about it, like it really all boils down when it comes to stuff like this to like law enforcement.
Fact.
Right?
In fact, no, go ahead.
What?
Nah, I was gonna say like, cause I get it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Niggas who 18, who graduated, still pull up, might go to a basketball game. They're still, you know what I'm saying? They might have graduated last year, but they still,
for sure,
they're still around. Like I understand that, but if that nigga was in his 30s.
Yeah, he was. He was a grown ass man.
That's not cool. Like
not at all. You nasty bastard.
That nigga is 52 years old. You know?
52 years old.
That's sick, dog. Like you can't just be at. So like, well. And one of the questions that I asked Ari, and it took me a while. I sat and thought about it when I got back, because I asked her, why do you think? I think I asked her something like, why don't you think nothing has happened to him yet?
Mm-hmm.
And she said something of the sort, people don't believe black girls.
It's a fact.
And I sat and I thought about that, even on the plane ride, and I was like, damn, they don't. Like, prime example, you brought up in the interview, if I'm correct. Or that episode was that niggas still ain't get to the bottom of the DC shit.
Nah, bro.
All the missing young ladies.
Nah,
like,
bro. Nah, bro. I feel like no matter what, man, like, you gotta think of like, let's look at the food chain, I guess you could say it is. Like, first, if you are a male, right? You got the males, right? Let's say in America you got the white male. Then you have the white female, right?
Okay.
And then you have let's say Asians and other people, like, you know, other people that fall in that same realm of people that have wealth and money that's doing better off than, you know, the other individuals in America, right? And then you have like Hispanic, maybe beside or above or under the black male, right? And then you have the black female is always at the very bottom. Right? It's always at the very bottom. It's always been like that, right? Like, and the crazy part about it is, bro, like, we be talking so much shit about it, but of course we be joking, but it's like, I can understand why they all angry and upset. I completely understand it, bro. Like, just, if you ever put yourself in like a black female's shoes, like, that shit it gotta be terrifying. It gotta be terrifying. Like, if a white girl was to be touched. It's
that you
like,
you going under the jail.
You go under the jail, right? But black girls be getting like.
Hold on, let me reverse that. If a white woman was to be touched by a black man,
No, that's a fact.
he's going under the jail.
That's a fact.
Because
Or killed.
yeah, yes.
Yeah.
100% fact. So, and it's not like that, you know what I'm saying, with our black woman.
Not at all.
That's trash. You know what
It's
I'm
very
saying?
trash. I definitely
It's
agree
trash
with that.
that fucking R. Kelly really just out here preying on the youth. Like,
Yeah.
I think we can call it dead, Nate. Man, real quick housekeeping. Well, back to fuck R. Kelly.
For sure. Fuck you, nigga.
Facts.
I'm gonna keep that same energy if I ever see you too.
Anybody else preying on black woman? Anybody else preying on woman? Period, man.
For sure.
Fuck y'all, like y'all slime balls.
That's some hoe shit, bro. Like, embrace your women. They
Yeah.
make us better.
Fact, 100%. Like, housekeeping, man. April 13th, 30th anniversary party. Make sure y'all come out. If you're a vendor, hit us up on the email contact@therealvsop.com. We might still have some vendor slots open. Hit us up. Just come out for from 10 to 2. Entry is free. You don't gotta pay nothing. Come in and party with us. It's our 3rd year doing this shit. We come back bigger, stronger, better every year, man. We gonna have new merch. Check us out. A lot of new merch, bro. Y'all gonna have a variation. I'm tired of hearing y'all shit. Make us this, make us that. We got y'all. It's a long time coming. We got y'all niggas. Also check out the website www.therealvsop.com. The Real VSOP on all social media platforms: SoundCloud, iTunes, Facebook is still VSOP Podcast because they are some hoes. But shit, did I miss anything, Nate?
Nah, son, that's it, huh?
Yeah, all right, man. We out, man. Y'all niggas stay solid.
I'll let y'all.
For real.